feel anxious right now recording this video. Anxiety. Even saying that word can make a knot appear on my stomach. But before I go into any of my experiences, I really want to make a distinction, because anxiety kind of means two things. In one sense, anxiety is something that we all feel. It's that fear or that feeling which keeps us safe when there's danger around. But it also refers to a mental health disorder, and a big manual that defines mental health disorders puts it simply: it's excessive anxiety and worry occurring more days than not for at least 6 months. And that's the category that I fall into. And obviously I'm way more than one diagnosis, but I feel like an expert by experience on anxiety. So hello, I'm Sarah, and I'm going to share a bit about what it's like to be a Christian who has anxiety. Being anxious has all kinds of repercussions. I've always been a worrier, and I'd imagine every kind of bad thing to happen and then worry constantly about that happening. Sometimes I struggle to take things lightly because I overthink and I ruminate on stuff. And in this extreme, I couldn't work, couldn't really function for a while because I got so unwell with anxiety, amongst other mental health difficulties that I was experiencing. It affects me now too. I'm still an overthinker. I avoid certain situations because they make me too anxious. Sometimes I can't manage day-to-day stuff. And it's all linked to my physical health too. So when I'm particularly anxious, I'll get anxiety headaches, my skin gets bad with spots and eczema, I get all kinds of gut problems, my muscles ache, and I just feel really exhausted. And it can be really horrible and really dark. Anxious thoughts have the ability to stop us from experiencing the moment and really rob us of any kind of joy. They can also be a really big barrier in my relationship with God. For example, I've experienced immense guilt that I struggle. Other well-meaning Christians have kind of thrown Bible verses at me or told me I need to pray more and then I wouldn't be anxious. And you know what, there is some truth in that, but especially when I'm at the bottom of the pit, it's a bit like being told, just stop being anxious, or there must be something wrong with you if the Bible and prayer aren't making you well again. And it's taken me a long time to find the things that help. There's several things I always have in the back of my mind as like an anxiety first aid kit. So some examples would be my 2 best friends who I can contact and talk to about anything, having a really good cry. I do that a lot without even being anxious. Going outside, even just opening the back door, taking some deep breaths of fresh air. An activity that has a beginning and an end. So it could be something as simple as making a cup of tea, to something more complex like baking a cake or doing a puzzle. And breathing, that one kind of seems silly, but being quiet, putting both feet on the floor and just concentrating on the ins and outs of breathing is actually incredibly good for bringing my panic levels down. My husband Harry, he deserves a medal. And often in that stillness, as I kind of begin to calm down and I feel the roaring anxiety subside, I can pray, or I can remember that God is with me. Recently it's been striking me how each and every one of the things that help is a gift from God. I often think that for God to intervene in my anxiety, there needs to be a big bolt of lightning, a complete healing, some miraculous life-changing event, but He's there and He's intervening through my loved ones, through the amazing body He's given me that can breathe and think and play and move. Sometimes I am angry with God for making me this way. I'm filled with questions like, why do I have anxiety? Why do we even need to be anxious people in the first place? Or did you make a mistake in creation, God? So in Matthew 14, we hear the story of Jesus walking on water. Peter eventually gets out the boat to go and meet him on the water. And when he gets out the boat, Jesus doesn't calm the storm around them. And they stand together, they walk on the water together amidst the storm and all the chaos. And then Peter becomes afraid. And what does Jesus do? Again, he doesn't calm the storm, but he rather immediately reaches out his hand and he catches Peter. It's only when they both get back into the boat that the wind dies down and there's calm around them. And this speaks to me really directly in those situations where anxiety has become overwhelming. If I lose faith, if I feel afraid, or if I begin to metaphorically sink, Jesus may not make all the bad stuff disappear, go away. What he does do is hold on to me without relenting or letting go, and he'll never let me go under. Sometimes I wish God would take away the hard stuff, but that isn't the world that we live in. It's broken. There is hard stuff, and I live in that. Therefore, rather than getting angry with God for not doing things my way, I have to surrender, even in the anxiety, and trust him, and trust he's with me always. I know he wants me to have faith. I know he wants me to summon all my courage to do the hard stuff, whether it's taking a big risk, sharing Jesus with a friend, or some days it's managing to get out of bed.